What's up, miscreants? Back in AWTD. Miracle Rare. Yippee! Purify Guardian or Amu is what I'm told they're called. That's what I'm just gonna call them Purify Guardian though. So, you know. Brand new unit Easter event. Well, I say brand new. It's been a minute since they've come out, but still. They're fairly complicated, so I thought I'd make a video on them, even though I'm a bit late to the party here. But you get them from the Easter event. They're a miracle rare, and they're probably going to be unobtainable. So get them while you can. They are very good. So first of all, when you place them, they don't actually do anything on placement. So you have to do the transformations here. Now each transformation does something different and changes the elements. So very good. So we'll start with Heart, Spade, and Clover. So Heart here is probably your most valuable one. It has Purify, which is the bulk of the DPS here, which is Karma, massive damage, very strong. We love Purify. The damage is fine, but the main thing here is this buff units attack by 2.35 times, and if they're Flower of AWTD, 3 times instead. That's a lot of units, because I'm pretty sure that's every female unit in all of AWTD. So that's a lot of characters. This ability is kind of terrible. I think it's bugged because I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work the way you'd think it would. So maybe I'm just incorrect. But this one is very good because massive damage, 4 times damage to element advantage instead of just 2 times, and Purified Guardian when in the heart form is fire. So if you're ever fighting an enemy that just is not green, you're gonna want to use this. Well, it will remove the full AoE aspect of things, but I feel like that's a small price to pay for quintup quint quadrupling your damage. So yeah, it changes to a line anyway. It's not a great line, but it's a line. And then, of course, Amulet Fortune, which we'll get to that later, much later. So overall, this is one you will always have active because there's just no reason not to because of this. Not to mention, their passive, increase range of units in range by 40%. Um, I don't know. It's kind of weird because it is weird. It's weird. It does not stack with Dr. Stone's, though, in case you were wondering, unfortunately. So, yep. So here's the blue one. Spade, yes. Yes, Spade. So deadly pressure, fairly good passive, superpower, and if you let it build up, it can do a ton of damage. Slow is pretty good too. You're not really going to use this one unless you're running a very Flower of AWTD heavy team, in which case you are going to use them because of this. The category buff, 5% damage per upgrade up to 50%. That's a lot of damage increases. You can already tell it already buffed up you, and I don't even have that going, so yippee. Um, this Purify Guardian, you're gonna use this if you're fighting anything that damages the base because of all of these. This is 50,000 base heal, 10-second cooldown, pretty short. This one removes stun and restores 15 stamina. So, I mean, I guess if you're struggling on food, this could be helpful with the Sukuna or Gojo Super Boss as they both impact stamina and, I guess, Titans in the one Attack on Titan stage. This one, oh my god. This one is the best one. 200k base heal, stamina restoration, but the main thing is it gives resist to units in range. That's completely insane. Obviously, that's really strong, especially for fighting super bosses or just anything that stuns your stuff. Poison, ridiculously busted DOT. Every 5 seconds, deal 300% of this unit's damage. I don't think I need to tell you why that's ridiculous. Um, Especially when you have stuff like this active. That's just so much damage. Green, obviously, and this unit has counter. So again, another reason to use them against super bosses. Moving on, I'm gonna delete those two and I'm gonna replace. And then we're gonna do Dia and Angel. So Dia is probably one you will also always be using. Dia's very, very good. Blindness, just generally useful. Slow and vulnerable. It's just generally good. That damage increase and the slow. It's just, you just never not want to gonna have that on your side. This is the big thing though. It's Nullify with 100% uptime. I cannot like stress that how good that is enough. 100% uptime on Nullify is ridiculous. If you're ever fighting anything, just anything at all, like say you're fighting metal enemies, you just don't have to bring a crit at all. You just need Purified Guardian, and they just won't be metal enemies anymore. It's so ridiculously broken. Like it's absurd. That's without even getting into the abilities here. Twinkle Shield, it's 20% base protect, 20-second base protect, Jesus. And then after that, a 20-second time stop. That's 40 seconds of stalled enemies, assuming you use it when they get to the back. The main thing though, Road of Stars, the buffs are kind of mid. Uh, the unit's gonna stop attacking and doing anything. I don't remember if Nullify works while Road of Stars is active, so we might actually test that while we're here. But the main thing is the damage increase, and it triples whatever the base HP is. So it's a 200% base damage increase, so that means this Purify Guard's gonna be easy, like 20, 30 million per attack, which is not like that's not that good, all things considered, until we get to Amulet Fortune, which you will use this unit in particular for Amulet Fortune. There's just never a time where you won't do that. You also get a base revive. Sorry about that. My dog started going bananas over nothing, so I'm gonna have to cut a lot of what I said. But um, generally, the main thing. Okay, base heal triples the base health, whatever it is. So it could be like 30 trillion, and it'll go up to 90 trillion. 200% base damage increase, very good. Especially when we get to Amulet Fortune, and a base revive, which is just generally ridiculously strong. Base revives are always good and never not worth having. Finally, we also have this. Oh wait, shoot. Oh yeah, yeah, we're on this one. So charm is fine. Okay, it's fine. Uh, it's really not that good, all things considered. This one isn't all that good, except for this. This is actually fairly useful, especially for fight. If you're going up against a super boss or anything that stuns, this is pretty useful. I think it's very extremely optional. It's worth noting that this unit is also immortal, which means they cannot be deleted at all. They just can't be deleted by super bosses or Toby. So really strong for that and just about nothing else, which is unfortunate. So we only have, I think, no, we only have one more. I'm gonna set that up. So Devil is one I like using, but it's really only viable if you're also using Clover or just a strong base heal. So music, great passive. Everybody loves music. It has despair in it, so that's really good. It doesn't tell you anything. They should probably add a description for that, but whatever. This secondary passive is super duper strong. 5 times damage buff and bringing SPA down to 3. That's ridiculous, especially when you take music into account and all of the DPS music can produce. It's ridiculous. And guess what? Take damage to base by 5% and deal twice their damage in the form of paralysis, which is just really good because not only is that stall, but that's just a lot of extra damage. So this unit's really good for just purely putting up numbers, and if you don't have a better option for despair, they can do that, but I wouldn't really recommend it. So now we're gonna do a little thing on Amulet Fortune. So in order to use Amulet Fortune, you have to have done 1 billion total damage. So you've spent $5 million, so this is not a progressive mode kind of thing, which is fine. You're not really going to be using it for that anyway. Because if you ever, it's just not worth it. And of course, you have to use Road of Stars. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crank that up to a massive number and use that. And we'll just see how long it takes to get all of the eggs. But, well, this is already not good. Oh, there we go. Aha! Found two. Oh, three. And then it'll play a cutscene, and it might bug. The cutscene's super buggy, and rarely actually works. But oh no, we get to watch the whole thing. Yippee! You get to see it in all of its glory. I think the cutscene's pretty good. Um, it is a little long, and I kind of wish you could skip it or just completely disable it for that matter. But I don't mind the cutscene. Um, I don't, it doesn't really make too big of a difference because it does like just pause the game. It puts the game on pause. So I'm gonna bring that back down. But so you're gonna want to have all of these down. Yippee. So we have that. Now I need you to do a lot of damage. Why is it moving slow? Hold on. Okay, there we go. So now I'm just gonna basically just do this a lot until Guardian here gets all the damage, which should be pretty quick. There we go. So Amulet Fortune. Yippee. $5 million down the drain. What does Amulet Fortune do? Well, first off, as you can see, the damage. is there. There is damage to be had. So a lot of damage, big damage increase. Ooh, let me turn that on. Let me max you out. Would you just stop? Would you just stop? And so yeah, that's pretty good DPS. Hope is karma and justice. Karma is kind of the main thing here. Justice, you kind of have to build for justice. It can be a huge damage increase, but it doesn't always work very well. Now, I'm pretty sure the unit does get full AoE. Yeah, okay. Wait, no, that's the wrong unit. Ooh, I think they get full AoE. Yes, so the unit does get full AoE, and they get heal, which is fairly unique to this specific version of Purify Guardian. Most of them don't get heal. You can get heal if you use Heart Speedsters, but, I mean, come on now, who cares? The main thing, other than the big damage increase, is the Open Heart passive. So all of them get buffed significantly. So Heart, which would be if you use it on this one, they can just automatically defeat all elements instead of you having to use this ability. But honestly, there's just I don't really mind that much, even just fully a weep, but whatever. Amulet Spade, it's a better buff for Flower of AWTD. Better buff for that. It's okay. It's okay. The dog's being sad for some reason. Uh, Amulet Dia, this one we did is Nullify and Despair with 100% uptime and 5 times their damage every 8 seconds. So that's just ridiculously strong. And you don't really need to use Devil if you were using them for Despair. Amulet Clover, counter and heal base, which is good if you're going to be a sewer boss, but at the same time, I'm gonna be real. This one's kind of like, again, there's really no reason not to be using this. This one can be good though, I imagine. I've never actually used it. I've only ever used this one, and I used this one just to see like how much it really made a difference, and it didn't really. Amulet Devil, the unit already had Immortal, but it just says it has it again because they just reiterate it. And ignore enemy abilities. That's that's fine. I mean, it's not really a huge deal unless you're fighting like metal or element enemies, that kind of thing. It's not a huge deal, and it can be useful, just in general because it just basically gives them resist as well. So it's nice. But Amulet Devil, it's just the exact same thing as before. It doesn't change it for some reason, which is really tragic. But it's whatever. Again, you're gonna want to use this one. Despair and Nullify with guaranteed uptime and just generally great DPS overall. There's no reason not to use this version. And then finally this, marked enemies. If I'm not wrong, every time Purified Guardian here hits them with this, they get marked. Or maybe it's just whenever they attack. I don't know. It's one of the two. So whenever they do that, they get marked, and if a marked enemy, if you use this ability, it just erases all of the marked enemies. So it's just a kill nuke on all enemies. Ridiculously strong, especially for leaderboard runs. And that's part of what makes this unit so good, is they're just so versatile. Like, looking at this, there's really nothing they can't do, which is really nice. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And the cosmetic, well, the cosmetic exists, so yeah, you use it if you want, but it's kind of like the idle cosmetic. So you kind of use it just because, well, do I need to explain? Pretty fire. That's it. Bye bye.
Let me break it down for you, Mark. Bacon nugget cheese, 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 bacon nugget, bacon nugget.